Okay, last time I mentioned upper and lower bounds. I indicated this was likely to happen now, and in fact it's there. Part 1.4, page 14 is upper and lower bounds. It's the limits of accuracy. Imagine you have a continuous measure whereby, for example, you got weight. There's no definite cut-off whole number points for a weight, so you don't have to weigh a whole number of kilograms or a whole number of stone, a whole number of pounds, a whole number of grams. Height is another continuous measure. You don't have to be a whole number of centimeters or millimeters or meters. These are continuous measures with no natural break within the scale at all. Alright, so look at the example on page 14 as a demo that they've given. We're talking about somebody standing on the bathroom scales weighing themselves as 62 kilograms to the nearest kilogram. Well, that means you can't be as low as 61 kilograms, because if you were, you'd call yourself 61. You can't be as high as 63 kilograms, because you'd call yourself 63. So where are the limits of accuracy for 62? So if I've got 62, the question is, how low can I go and still call myself 62? How high could I go and still call myself 62? Well, apply the rules. I could be 61.5 kilograms and then zoom myself up to 62, because 5 or more goes up to the next figure. I can be as high as 62.4999999, etc. In other words, I cannot be exactly 62.5, because that's not correct. I could be 62.49 recurring kilograms in weight and still call myself 62 kilograms. Incidentally, I'm an awful lot heavier than that. I don't know why I've given up measuring myself now, weighing myself. Waste of time, not working. So, however, if you're going to do a calculation involving upper and lower bounds, you can't put 499999 in a calculator. You're going to have to call it 62.5 kilos. And this one, 61.5 kilos. This lower one is called the lower bound, the lower limit, and this one's called the, no prizes for guessing, the upper bound, or the upper limit. Alright, so if, for example, I wanted to call myself W for weight, I've got to be less than 62.5, and I've got to be greater than 61.5 in order to fit within that weight. I'm allowed to, sorry, let's just make that a little bit clearer. I'm allowed to be exactly 61.5, hence the equals under there, but my weight must not exceed 62.5, otherwise I've overshot my 62 kilogram measurement. Is that alright? Lower bound, that one. Upper bound, that one. And later on, when we start talking about grade A and A star scenarios, we'll be using these in actual calculations. Let's just change over to the next page and we'll do some upper and lower bound questions. So question 1, these numbers have been rounded to the nearest integer, that's the nearest whole number. Write down the upper and lower bound. So here I go. So 15. How low can I go? Answer 14.5. How high can I go? 15.5. Okay, 15.49 recurring. 157. I can go as low as 156.5, as low as 156.5, or as high as 157.5. Okay, this is grade C, upper and lower bounds. 100. Again, nearest whole integer. I can go as low as 99.5. or as high as 100.49 recurring, 100.5. Is that alright? So as you can see, there's 1 unit swing between the minimum and maximum, the lower and the upper, so it's half a unit either way. Next one, 4. Let's just do 4. Well, I can be as low as 3.5 or as high as 4.5, and I think I'll stop there. Question 1's done. Question 2. Write down the upper and lower bound of these volumes measured to the nearest cubic centimetre. Well, this is no different, is it? The nearest cubic centimetre is 1 entire unit. I'll just pick one of them, and that's 2c. This many centimetre cubes. How low can I go to the nearest whole centimetre cubed? Well, I can go 244.5 centimetres cubed, or I can go as high as 245.5 centimeters cubed. Right? Any more? I did opt for question 3, so let me just do this. The distance between two towns is 255. It's worth another page if I got one. Yep, I've got one more page. 255, better just write it down. So I've got 255 kilometers distance between them to the nearest 5. The nearest 5. What is the upper bound of the distance? Well, if I'm to the nearest 5, I could be 2.5 added in that direction, or 2.5 subtracted in that direction. Okay, now I know the question says what is the upper bound of distance, but I want to do both. Let's do the upper first. Okay, so there's a spread of 5 kilometers, potential error, which is minus 2.5 one way, plus 2.5 the other way. Okay, so I've got 255 right in the middle, plus 2.5 as my maximum possible extra. So it's 257.5 kilometers. That's the upper bound. And on this side, I'll do it for completeness. Incidentally, in an exam, if that was the question, don't even bother doing the left-hand side. Show it if you want to, but this is where you're going to get your marks. So here I'm going to go 255 kilometers, take away the 2.5 kilometers as my maximum possible minimum, if you can get that around your head. So in other words, the biggest possible amount I can take away and still call it 255. I make that 252.5 kilometers. Make sure that's okay. Yeah, that works. And that's my lower bound. And I'm going to stop there. That's